Hi, this is Ubaya here. I haven't been really making videos for the past 3 days, mainly because I kind of stopped playing the Gladiator. I think Gladiator is as good as I can take it. So I've actually created another build, and this build has kind of taken me about 2 days to make. And almost all my divines, by the way. So I had about 120 divines, and this build has kind of eaten up about close to 110 of it, I think. And yeah. I'm still doing ultimatums because it's extremely profitable, as you can tell. So this is a strength stacking Juggernaut, and just like the meta right now, which is Molten Strike of Zenith, this is Molten Strike of Zenith, but with a completely different take on it. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. For first things first, this isn't a sword build, it's actually a staff build. And this is a Pillar of the Cage God strength stacking setup. The reason why I went for Pillar of the Cage God is I really like the idea of using Molten Strike as Zenith, but I didn't really agree with a lot of Connor's gearing strategies. I think his gearing strategies definitely exist for someone who's playing like the very high end. Like if you want to push deep delve, but if you want an accessible build, I don't think you should be following what he's doing, because it's just too many items that he's running that cost too much, right? And not only do they cost too much, the market is kind of being funneled into those items, and so it's pretty unattainable to get some of the stuff that he's asking for. So two things. First things first. The reason why Pillar of the Cage God is being used here is for two reasons. One, there are multiple synergies with using a staff as opposed to a sword, even though you lose out on the returning projectiles. And two, Pillar of Cage God strength stacking actually makes a lot more sense this league because of of other reasons. So for example, mirrored rings, mirrored amulets are possible now, which means that you're gonna get a lot more bonuses of not only just strength but also life. And traditional strength stackers, they care more about the strength than they do the life, and it's quite common for them to actually like forego life on rings. They just go like a lot of suffixes and no prefixes. Whereas if you're going for a mirrored ring, you want high rolls on both. You want high rolls on suffixes and prefixes, and you want a way to deal with the downsides. Okay, so this is the other reason why Pillar of Cage God is used is because trauma support works very well with Molten Strike Zenith. The reason being is this. Okay, Zenith kind of wants attack speed. You need attack speed to hit your your fifth attack. You can't use Multi Strike for it, just like the same way for trauma. You can't use Multi Strike to stack trauma, and so what you want to do is you want to accomplish at least 5 to 6 attacks per second on your weapon for Molten Strike the Zenith, and those 5 to 6 or 6 attacks will also inevitably benefit trauma support. Trauma support gives you a quadratic scaling on attack speed, right? There are some Reddit threads you can go out there and look up. It will tell you the exact same thing, and the best thing for trauma is basically more attack speed. So why Pillar of the Cage God? Pillar of the Cage God is mainly because it scales very well with flat damage. So whatever trauma support gives, Pillar of the Cage God multiplies by a significant amount because it gets a huge amount of increased physical damage per 10 strength. So that's one. Two, it's also a staff, and a staff actually offers you a completely different way of getting damage on your passive tree, and I'll show you that later. Okay. And oh yeah, last things, because you're also strength stacking and life stacking, you get a decent amount of life. Right now this is 7.7, not because I'm level 92, but there's actually a lot more nodes I've been getting on the tree. It's just that I've been testing out other damage. I'm testing out damage instead, and how Leech works, so I didn't actually go for all the life nodes. But yeah, because Pillar of Cage God loves flat damage, low life and bloodthirst support is really, really strong. So you can probably hit up to, I think, 9k or 10k life on this. And then you have insane amount of Blitz, flat damage. And then you also have insane amount of trauma supports, flat damage. Currently on this setup, I accomplish around 50 to 55 trauma stacks if I continuously attack. So that's pretty insane damage. Okay. So when it comes to strength stacking on the tree, most strength stackers, what happens is all they try to do is push a higher amount of strength. So getting as many strength nodes as possible and pathing 2 strength nodes. Or making your strength nodes more efficient. So like you add a lethal pride, or you add what was it called again? Some Mahus, I think. You can actually increase strength that way. But those ways generally are expensive. I'm hitting about 1.9k strength by doing Megalomaniac stacking. Okay, wait, hold on, let me check some items. Okay, that's I don't think you'll sell this. Anyway, so you're stacking strength through Megalomaniacs, and I'll explain why. If you're running a SWAT, which is Corner's build, the only strength nodes that work very well is Martial Mastery, because it gives you 20 strength and 20 attack speed. Of course, you want attack speed on Molten Strength and Zenith, so that's great. But if you're using a staff, you can get this weight advantage. Mace, Scepter, or staff attacks. You can also go 200 mace, yes, but 200 mace unfortunately doesn't scale very well with flat. Okay, so Mace, Scepter, or staff attacks do 30% increased damage with hits and ailments, right? And 4% chance to do double damage, so that's 4% more damage, and 20 strength. So every Megalomaniac is going to give you 40 strength if you get these 2 nodes. And these 2 nodes on this Megalomaniac is really cheap. So I bought a whole bunch of them for either 50C to 1 divine. I actually bought a crap ton of them because I wanted to test many different stuff out, and I also kind of felt that, okay, maybe felt incorrectly that I will be competing with someone else for this, but apparently not. So I have a whole bunch of Megalomaniacs now that have this doubles that I'm still gonna put them out on the market for like 1 div, because I'm gonna pretty much put them back on cost. But yeah, I kept some of the nice ones for myself here. Like this one has Feast of Flesh, who gives me life. It gives me life again on hit, which is also really nice because of the number of hits you're producing. This one is weight advantage, Master Mastery as well, but this has Capacitor, and Capacitor is really good for Bone Shatter because or for trauma, because you can't be shocked, so you can't take increased damage, reduce the effect of shock, and you pair that up with the Pantheon, so you have reduced 90% reduce of shock, and then shock ground does not affect you, right? So all those 50% increased damage taking shock grounds, you're not affected by it. So that's really, really nice. So that's why this build kind of does a lot of damage. You're going like 1, 2, 3, 4 Megalomaniacs. And then you can go very cheap cluster jewels as well. So these cluster jewels are 90C. The ones that Connor is using is 4 divs. All right. So this one is Feed the Fury and Martial Mastery. Feed the Fury works very well for this because it gives you more attack speed than martial prowess. And 2, you're always going to leech because of low life petrified blood. So yeah, these clusters are like 90C each as opposed to 4 divs, so you can save a lot of cost on there. And then finally, when you end up here, you're not going for the expensive split personalities. You're actually going for this. So you're going for strength and accuracy. And accuracy is important, or rather is better than life, mainly because of the attack speed. All right, this actually gives more damage. I could go life here and have more life overall, yes. But this is, what, 40C? And the life ones are 3 divines. So that's how you save money as well. Okay, now let's go to the part that is expensive, alright? And we're talking about how we scale defenses. Because if right now, if you look at the POB for this character, its Fizz max hit is 90k. It's actually extremely high. So that's 90k with Immortal Core up. If I drop Immortal Core, let's say Immortal Core has a downtime. Let's drop Immortal Core. It drops to 28, right? But with Immortal Core, it's 90. So it's an insane amount of damage reduction with Immortal Core. Without Immortal Core, it's still 28. It's still pretty insane. Okay, so how do you get that high amount of physical damage reduction? The answer is, well, endurance charges 1, but because you don't have to go an Iron Fortress, you're going for a Conquest Lamla with armor and evasion split, right? So you can go for Iron Reflexes with this, and that's 6k armor all the overall, and then you double, which is 12k armor. In total, I have about 31k armor here, and then when I pop my flask, it goes to 52k. All right. Why is armor important? And armor is important here because on Unbreakable, it has been nerfed, unfortunately. It used to be applies to elemental damage, but now it's chaos damage. Unbreakable works here because of Divine Flesh. Okay, why are we running Divine Flesh? The reason why we're running Divine Flesh is this. If you look at my fire and my lightning res, it's negatives. These are in the negatives. And because I have Calandra rings, mirror rings that have negative fire rolls, it goes even lower. But it doesn't matter. Why? Divine Flesh takes 50% of all elemental damage as chaos. And then I have what was it? I have Purity of Ice, cold and lightning damage taken as cold, 20%. And then the Sublime Vision. Where's the Sublime Vision? It's here. Sublime Vision for cold. 30% of fire and lightning taken as cold. Unfortunately, these two are expensive now. This is not expensive. This one was 40C, 60C, sorry. And then I rolled it to 20% using Divines. It's actually cheaper to do that than it is to buy from the market, because people are charging 10 to 20 div on the market for lightning, fire, lightning plus immune to freeze. And I was like, I can just roll it myself. So I bought this one for 60C and just rolled it myself. You can skip the freeze mod, and the 20 fire and lightning damage taken as cold alone is just less than 1 div or below. The Sublime Vision, however, is extremely expensive at the moment. I was lucky, I got this at about 8 divines. I'm not sure if you can find one with less aura effect. Less aura effect, it's about 11 divines, sorry, for lesser aura effect, which is, I think, okay, because you don't really need high aura effect to begin with. I think you will lose out maybe 1 max rest, but that's about it. But yeah, so this is 11 divines, right? So with 11 divines, or rather 12 divines, you have a 12 divines plus a Zebakwa. Zebakwa should be around like less than a divine, right? So that's 13 divines. With 13 divines, you have a damage mitigation mechanic where you are taking half of your elemental and taking it as chaos, which Unbreakable will apply to with your high armor, and then the remaining elemental, unfortunately, you will take on your cold, and your cold resistance is actually 87%. When I level up, what was it? Purity Ice to 20, it should be 89%. Okay, so 89% auras, just like this. You deal with Fire Pen, you deal with Lightning Pen. Unfortunately, you don't do Cold Pen, which is Shaper Balls. But what can you do, yeah? Let me think. The reason why I've gone cold as well is because the Sublime Vision for Fire is extremely expensive. The Sublime Vision for Fire is about 150 divines, I think, around there. So this being 11 is like really cheap. Why didn't I go Lightning? Okay, I can also go Purity Lightning, but the reason why I avoided Purity Lightning is because I don't have enough intelligence to get Purity Lightning to turn 20. I can get the levels for it, definitely. I can get the attributes for it, for sure. But there's also another reason. The other reason is I have a Void freeze here, yeah, but I don't have a Void chill. And I'm using the chill, the damage I take, the cold damage I take, to basically give me more action speed, right? So that's True Winter Weave. The effect of chill on you is reversed. Okay. You notice that I'm using okay, that's one side of things. Okay, you notice I'm also using a Forbidden Flash and Flame combo for Blitz, and the fact of the matter is, with Blitz, with reverse chill, I can hit about 8.81 attacks per second with the focus mod up. Without the focus mod up, it's It's about 7.97. Yeah, 7.97 attacks per second. And this is without multi-strike. Okay? This is without multi-strike. So the thing with Blitz is really, really good, especially with this mod. You can't run this mod on Connor's build because he's using a Crown of Ice. He's using the Crown of Ice's scale percentage strength increases. This build doesn't do that because you get all the percentage increases you need from this. So getting Crown of Ice here is kind of pointless. It doesn't make any sense. So what you want here is you want critical strike chance per 10 strength and accuracy rating, the elevator mod essentially. This gives you attack speed, this gives you crit chance. Okay, with your crit chance at 25%, your crit chance at 25%, you will be able to keep 20 blitz charges up all the time, right, indefinitely. And this gives you the insane attack speed bonuses for this build. Then with that insane attack speed bonuses, your instant leech is going to keep you up topped up. You have leech also coming from damage you take from your bone shatter that goes into that gets also instant leech, so you get a percentage of the damage you take back as leech. The self damage allows for endurance charge generation, which means the endurance charge are almost always max, even with a mortal call being procced. What else is there? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all the synergies that you see in the build. Unwavering is for you cannot be stunned because you're not going for unstoppable, unfortunately. And yeah, and it doesn't matter if you can't evade because you have iron reflexes. You have to go for iron grip because you're not running the Crown of Ice fortress setup. Yeah. I won't go through the passive trees. I'll probably just give you a POB. You can chew through it yourself. But eventually, once I hit 95, 1, 2, 3, I will have these. I will have Intimidate as well as 40 Rage, so my damage will go up. And then 97, I will get these two nodes, so Life and Armor. And then I can't remember. I don't know exactly what I'll do with the remaining 2 points. I think 97 is just generally where I would keep this build at. With this 2 points here, it should be about 8k, I think, life. And when I do some upgrades, it should be 8.5 and 9k life. I need to upgrade my rings. My ring is kind of meh at the moment. Okay, let's talk about gear, because I think that's where the differences with Connor's build is in mostly. Maybe not the belt and amulet, because this is pretty much the best you can hope for belt and amulet, and these are the ones that still stay expensive. I think I bought this for about 14 divines, and I bought this for about 5 divines. So, but crafting is also a pain, so I think in total this cost me like 20 divines, and this cost me like, I think 8 divines around there. The boot is really cheap, no movement speed, so this was like 1 div. The glove, I don't know why this was so cheap, but I bought this from a Korean guy for about 5 divs or something. I have yet to add the additional strike skill, which is something I will plan to do with the divines I get. Need a decent amount to buffer for bad luck. I got this helm for 5 divines. I'm not sure also why it's 5. It kind of feels like it should be more than that. But it has the negative chaos res mod, which I can't remove, and I don't want to. I would like to remove it actually. If only I had a better life roll on the prefix and I could have like an open suffix, that would be nice, but it is what it is, yeah. So at least this has 100 life, but the negative chaos res doesn't really do anything for me. Flasks are all flagellant flasks, so Sapphire, Granite, Jade, and Silver. Silver is because Onslaught is already nice, attack speed is great. Deodra's Elixir doesn't do any damage to me, and it gives me free charge generation, so that's why I have it there. I've been trying to get Vengeful Cry to proc, but I don't think I can get it to proc with my own self damage for some reason. So maybe it's a great way to tell if I'm almost going to kill myself. That's how I can stop attacking if I see this go. If I see this ready. I don't know. But yeah. All right. Maybe I'll do a bit of a map, raining map before I like close off. I really do need the extra strike target because that will improve my clear quite a bit. Right now I'm only like 1 extra and it feels kind of meh. I will continue to do ultimatums because they're extremely profitable, about 10 div an hour, and then I'll just continuously upgrade this character. Probably will level to about 98, 99 with ultimatums alone. And the scarabs are pretty cheap now. Like I think the barbarian ones are like 2C or something, and this one's 1C, so it's pretty cheap per run. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video. I will probably update down the road, maybe daily, maybe every 2 days, we'll see. See you guys, I'm out, bye.